Hello, we're back. Round three. It's a bit weird because we're casting a game that's not something that we were going to cast, but things were going wrong, and luckily for us, BTD volunteered to sacrifice another team for our pleasure. And right now we have Jihu. Who? Jihu? No, they call it Jihu. Yeah, it's a play on G2 if you can't tell. But yeah, I don't really have much information. We're going to be playing on Villa. BTD, obviously, we saw them last match. They were kind of crazy. Oh my god, I'm so sidetracked. I forgot to introduce. I'm here with Puffer Bob. Hi, Puffer Bob. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Just woke up 10 minutes ago, still thinking this is a lucid dream, and you kind of just proven it. I mean, repeating Jihu 3 times isn't going to make it any better. But yeah, hello, welcome. Titan Qualifiers Season 4, match number 3. So this is going to be very interesting. We're going to play on Villa, so it's not Oregon, it's not Clubhouse. Already off to a great start. And yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be White Tigers versus to be decided that and that, but we're going to be playing Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs, which I have not casted in a while, but I have done them. And yeah, against Jihu, I have no clue who they are, but we're going to definitely see what they can do in performance, at least as of today. So yeah, I mean, what are your opinions on any of the previous matches, if you have any experience that we've seen today? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to put a pin in that. I'm just noticing, obviously, in the lobby, there is obviously BTD. We saw there was Rastin.ambush, and on Jihu, there's Rando.ambush. There's like a little bit of a rivalry going on here. You'll see when we get to the game. So yeah, I just got sidetracked. But yeah, obviously, we watched the BTD game earlier. BTD were a really, really strong team. I mean, you guys saw they were really good on the teamwork. I pointed out earlier. They were playing really well coordinated. They didn't overheat, as I like to say, a term I stole from Valorant, where they played in their capacity. They got the kills. They fell back. They played it really well on defense and attack. They had the drone information. They were really tight knit. It was a really fun game of Siege to watch. If you enjoy Siege, it was a really fun game to watch. As for Jihu, I know a few players from their team, so I know this should be a relatively decent team, but I don't know how long this team's in form for. I have no idea about any of them. But since they must 2 up, they must be decent, right, Puffer Bob?
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so. Let's just hope this doesn't, go on to a 7-0. I mean, for us casters, it wouldn't be a bad thing since we're already way behind schedule. But, of course, a good match is always what we love to see. Now, you said Jihu, we don't have much intel about them. What about BTD? What would you say, from what you've seen already, what would you say is the kind of the best player, the worst player, kind of around that?
Yeah, so definitely a player you want to watch out for is Apex. I mean, I talked about it before last game, and I'm going to say it again. You saw it in the last game. He is so aggressive, and he just wins those fights. He plays very loose and raw, and if Jihu don't have his number, they're going to have to specifically bring operators to counter him. If they're attacking, they're going to want to bring the Dokkaebi, and if they're defending, they definitely want to bring a Pogman. We saw that happen to him last match. He died to a Pogman, but some Capcans, a little bit just trap operators. He's kind of like a solo lurker kind of player. We did see him play with his team as well, so it's not like he only does that, but it's definitely a loose thread that Jihu need to be aware of. And, I think the previous team also banned Knock against him, specifically him. So it's going to be interesting just to see. Obviously, Villa. I personally, I'll be honest, guys, I'm not the biggest fan of Villa. I think it's a bit more of a bland map these days. Not the biggest fan, but it is a really competitive map. I can't deny that. And we're going to see the better team win here because, it's a really... I mean, Villa came out... Puffer Bob, Villa came out like 3 years ago. Not 4 years ago.
It's in the game for a while.
It's not got any changes. It's the same.
Yeah, most definitely. But... yeah, no, Villa's... it's been here for a while. It's kind of... you could say for some people it's a fan favorite, but... Let's actually see what we're having here. Especially, let's talk about the operator bans being Dokkaebi and Flores, which, without a doubt, pretty reasonable. I mean, Dokkaebi is probably one of the stronger operators on the attack right now, and Flores just... with kind of the amount of mass destruction he brings and kind of, pushing you out of lines of sight and such and kind of forcing you and zoning you out, making it even worse. So let's, yet again, there's no question about it. Her intel denial and pre-placing drones just getting pushed out of the way is absolutely insane. And she's kind of meant to do that, but also a good gun build and, of course, some nice secondary gadgets. And yet again, these are all really reasonable. I mean, the there's no question. I mean, if she wasn't banned, it'd be absolute chaos for the attackers. Just because, you know, if you want to get into sight, blocks you out. If you want to peek it, she's kind of just like another shield, but just with 5 of them, and they're stored in a little knife filled with cement. So yeah, most definitely bans are reasonable. As we're heading to Aviator and Games, so what do you think about these lineups that we have here?
Do you see what I see, Mr. Pufferball?
Caveira.
Look, all I'm saying, you know, going back to the major just happened, you know, G2 fought the cam in round 1. I was repping the G2. They messed up Team Liquid and then they lost. So if that's an omen to say, you know, Jihu against Jihu, I don't know if that's a mental. Actually, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a mental thing. Like, you know, they're playing against the G2. I'm sure it's just like Den doing that. If anyone in chat here knows Den, they know how trolly he is. He always trolls people's ranked elo. I see the tweets all the time. Never invited to your ranked stats, apparently. So I've heard. The grapevine is told me. Alright? I'm explicit. But apart from that, we can see the castle, the Tachanka. It's a really interesting, especially because they've gone towards AV, and you don't usually see a castle being brought when you go to AV. Apart from that, you're also bringing the Tachanka instead of the smoke. It's going to be a different kind of setup. I'm interested to see where you put these castle barricades, especially.
You know what terrifies me the most? The fact that Jihu are bringing a Blitz, Aying, and an Amaru. Now that's something new to see. Not really new, but most definitely interesting. It kind of indicates, I don't know, I just get this feeling from something that maybe, just a slim chance, there it is, the Amaru coming out, she gets 1 kill on Books. Top main gets taken over, Hibana pushing in, trying to check in, and they're already in sight. The vault actually gets pushed out, Hibana gets dropped, Blitz is in sight, 1 kill from Shed onto Apex. It's a 3v4 situation. The defenders are just cornered, things are coming out, she gets 1 onto Den, a 2v4, a bit of a refrag from the side of the Jaeger plant is going down, and it's not even a minute.
Not even a minute gone. It's 3v2. Post-spawn is here, and it's all down to poor Cat, the castle who I was alluding to earlier in the round. Not much he could do. A quick execute coming out from the side of Jihu, and it pays a great dividends for them as they managed to close out that round instantly. And I guess I'll never know what the castle setup was.
I guess we'll just never know. Maybe right now, since it seems like it's going to be a bit of a repeat, well, let's hope the attackers will not be the one to kind of bring that, yeah, you know, back. But yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, the fact that they kind of just went blitz and, you know, I thought it was going to be a bit more of a late rush. I know, and I thought they were going to drone it out a bit, you know, check the position. No, Amaru's in, Blitz is in, Heban, everyone's in. The defenders didn't even have a choice. I mean, they got, what, 2 kills? That's fine. But then, you know, the next second, the fuser was down. There was a blitz rushing into vault. There was that and that. So you can't really...
Chaos.
All of that pressure, yeah, it was just chaos. Just purely death. And with all of that kind of surrounding you as a defender, what do you do? What do you do?
I mean, there's not much, you know. I mean, Jihu, they're a competent team. They got the trades, even though they lose a few fights because you're playing against good players. Obviously, you're going to lose a few players, but it's always important for those remaining team members who are alive to get those refrags and trades, and that's exactly what they did. And in the man advantage, where they have the site, we just plant the bomb. You know, BTD, they weren't expecting the rush. They had like 2 or 3 players off site playing right where you see them right now by the trophy area, and by the time they got back to site, it was too late. And that's basically what happened in the round. That's how these quick pushes work. But Cat, he's gonna be trying something a little bit cheeky, prepping a window, see if he can get a cheeky kill. Raston gets a cheeky pick onto Zarok. They're good night Zarok, deleted from the server. Not sure what happened. That's a Tachanka down puffer bomb. Not the best operator to lose at the start.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to lose a smoker or a Tachanka or anyone who can kind of come in really useful late in the game. You don't want to kind of team kill that in the very first 30 seconds. I'm not a genius, I'm not Einstein, not claiming to be, but that's most definitely something you don't want to do, especially in a competitive match. So, you know, kind of putting themselves at a bit of a disadvantage this early on, seeming not to be good, but the attackers are also doing an interesting push, to say the least. I mean, we have a complete split push. We have Wolf Window taking over, we have someone going study side, someone on Master Balcony, and even Creed, as we see right now, going on Nook, probably going to be pushing a bit of red stairs, and could be in a face-off with Den any second. Yana right there behind. So yeah, she's going to be holding so they can maybe get some nades from below, but most definitely a very split push. Gets noticed by Den, he gets 1 with the Vector. Very nice shot, making it a 4v4. You know, maybe there was a team kill, but at least they made up for it.
2 creases off the board. That's the knock off the board. You don't have to worry about any crouch walking around the cam. But Macy elsewhere does pick up Cat. Now they got the player playing by trophy, and they can solely focus on this execute. They know where one of the players is playing below, as Rando seems to be aware of Apex playing really aggressive. And Apex gonna go for the swing here and does manage to land the shot. That's a really good kill and a potent one. Brings it back to 3v3, and now all of the attackers are on this trophy side. They're gonna have to rotate around if they don't want to do this one-dimensional execute. And with the Goe canisters as well on Skull Door that you saw, it would be detrimental if they were just to tunnel through there.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's no man advantage right now put into position. 1 minute of the clocks. Things are going slowly, like kind of utility starting to be used to the very end. I mean, flashes are going to get brought out. There's the Habanas. Defenders don't have much more. I mean, the Goyos are starting to get wasted. And, you know, as the time is ticking, you do want to start to get into the preparation or the actual execute as soon as you can. Because with Goyos and Tachanka, I mean, okay, Tachanka isn't really there to help out with the time, you know, but if there was a Tachanka or a Smoke, you don't really want the execute to be in the last 20-30 seconds, because, well, that just gets dropped at the very end, and there comes the aggression. Goyo gets set off, and yeah, this is what I mean, like, the attackers right now for 15 seconds are just going to be stuck, but Shed's still managing to pick off. One is going to be Apex, a 2v3 situation, not too bad, almost a very close refrag. Venoms gets taken out, Shed really low on HP, then gets almost one, Rasputin gets one, gets refragged, and that's going to be the with a double kill. Holy, the G36, what a shot. Not a shot, a shot.
He ran for the fire, for the flames, the hero that Jihu needed. He appeared like a Cinderella, a princess, and saved the round. I mean, I thought that round was done and dusted, even though Den whiffed a few shots, you know, onto the Lion, you know. I can't remember who the Jaeger was, but they got the kill and it was a 2v1, you know, but she just ran in and the stars aligned and she got the 2 kills, and Jihu picked up around they really probably should not have picked up, and now suddenly they get the score, but the 2 first rounds go to the side of the attack. That's not normal, Villa. That's not what you normally see.
That is not usual to see. I mean, yeah, the missed shots were something. The Jaeger kind of went to very aggressive on the main wall, so he kind of got a kill there. Yana wasn't taking no one for hostage. Absolutely ran in, just like you mentioned, through the fire and the flames, giving it her all, and then just managed to pick it up. Like a nice little line set up for her. So, you know, a very good way to finish it off, and especially just for your reputation. I mean, that looked absolutely sick. And of course, you know, second round in a row going to Jihu. As, yeah, we're going to be going into Kitchen. It seems like Aviator's not going to be much of a pick anymore. And oh my god, is that a blitz again?
They've bought it again. And I think this time, Puffer Bob, it's going to be a bit of a slower take. Because if you look at the operators, they don't have any kind of rush. They have the Lion, but that always brings the Lion to isolate the defenders. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a slow burner to help clear out the room here. Oh, never mind, he's in.
We should take that back really fast. The pings are coming out. Oh, goodness me. That's trying to take off some HP. I mean, Den did manage to take it off, but there's at least they're informed now. Now they know the rush. Zara getting taken out along with the alibi. Could they finish it off? Yes, they do. The gun 6 comes out. Double kill from Shed. The Blitz get taken out from the behind. Apex trying to get 2 for himself. Very close to it, but it seems like it's going to be cooling off just for a bit now. But yeah, that was... I mean, the execution was good, but I think it's when the rush actually gets notified to the defenders, that's when it kind of gets dropped a bit. Doesn't matter, though. Then from below, taking out Shed. A very nice shot, just equaling up the amount of players there are on each team, making it no more man advantage. Just a nice, simple 3v3 with 2 minutes. Actually, a minute and 50 on the clock.
I mean, these kills have been these kills have gone by so quick, Puffer Bob. It's only been a minute, and basically half the lobby is dead. I mean, the game we were watching earlier, at this time, the attacker just starting to get into the building, they're getting a little bit of map control, but no, Jihu, they pick the blitz, they walk in, they get 1 kill, they get 2 kills, they get refragged, and now it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate while the attackers start poking around, seeing what they can find, maybe get a few picks from this vertical angle. You can see 2 players, especially from BTD, they're playing offside. I think I saw 1 mudroom, 1 living room, expecting some players of G2 to maybe get caught off on a rotation off angle maybe. But with a minute left on the clock, they're gonna have to speed up a little bit more, Puffer Bob.
Oh, yes, they will. I mean, it's unfortunate that Zarok, the Capcan, got taken out. That C4 could have been really used for verticality against the Sledge right now, but even with impacts, I guess you can't really do much. The attackers do have a bit of an upper hand, but the Oryx gets spotted, and he still manages to pick up one. It's going to be Creed. The teabag comes out at 3v2. The attackers have no position, as it's going to be Cat Sola getting one as well. And now Venom's kind of just, alone in Pantry. So they had verticality, and then they didn't. The Oryx came up, fully rushed. The impacts are coming out, throwing them like they're Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. I wanted to say Pokeball, but that's not a show. That's the actual item. As it's going to be Dan finishing it off, getting round number 3 and their first round for defense.
V7 Noms. He didn't. I always see him last alive. It's not even like a thing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but in other games I've seen you casting, he's always the last person alive. And he has a running joke again. It's a little bit off topic, but between him and some of his friends, that he's just farming his stats. He stays last alive. He farms his stats.
True.
He's trying to get his stats up. But anyways, I'm getting a little bit off topic. It was an interesting round for Rob. I mean, it was really fast-paced at the start, and then it kind of just slowed down a little bit as attackers tried to find their footing. They poked around, and then they kind of find out why they shouldn't have poked around. I can't say that word on stream, but you know what I'm saying, right? They poked around a bit too much, and they found out a bit too much. And that's basically what happened. BTD, they had these angles. The drone game wasn't as strong as Jihu needed to have there to win that round. And get a nice few ones, and especially the teabag. You can tell that these two teams are like mates, right? They're just playing against each other. They know each other really well, and they're gonna see a few plays like that. Right? They're gonna be a little bit teabag, a little bit easy in the chat, maybe the trash talk, just to try to get reaction from the players. Because when you're mates, that's kind of what you do in this kind of game, try to get in the other players' head. But BTD, for Bob, they do pick up the first round on the offside, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you mentioned their drone game wasn't the best, which I'm just gonna respond with. Really needs any type of drones when you have a walking train of destruction, aka Blitz himself. He is kind of just he's just the better drone. Like why would you need drones? Like honestly, every pro league player should just instead of drones, pick up Blitz, throw him in. What are they gonna do about it? Shoot him? No. He has a shield. Besides that, yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, they could implement drones a lot more, but still, I think Jihu did have an upper hand, at least up until the verticality. They even know about the Oryx, and I'm surprised the Sledge couldn't take him out upstairs. So, that did lead to some bit of a downfall on the attacking end right there. But, it's all fine. They're still at a 2-1 score, which for Villa, not too bad. I mean, if they kind of manage to equalize it to be a 3-3 before the roll swap, or even a 4-2 for attack, it should be looking really good. But right now, doing a bit more of a simple roam clear from the side of Aviator. I mean, Study, and I mean, Kitchen is going to be a bit hard to take, especially as an attacker. To be honest, they should have been roam clearing around Kitchen in the first place, but if their plan seems to be around the side of Study, Aviator, landing 90, that's also fine. There's two ways you can roam clear, and this is certainly one of them.
True, but when you go Study across, there's always a chance of the C4 from below. Those two Kitchen players, I think it was a Valkyrie, and I think it was Cat as well on the mute. So that's two C4s, and these defenders are going to be giving the calls that, hey, there's one to be pushing Trophy Window, he's in the hallway, he's coming 90, you can get a free kill if you just go in C4 there, and I'm not going to be surprised if you see exactly that right now. But Rastin doesn't need a C4 because he has a gun in his hand, and Macy unfortunately finds out the hard way. But Creed on the knock, we've seen how dangerous knock players can be. Walks in, the Legion Mine does give his position, but a bunch of trades and Furrier players come out, and it just creates a random. They're inside the objective, but they don't have the bomb, and the players are surrounding them like sharks out of water. They need to do something. As Rastin with the C4, as I called it to earlier, does get the pick, and now it's all on the Creeds. Doesn't get even a single one, and that is a very, very nice defensive round from the side of BTD.
Oh, Lee Rastin with a quad kill, finishing it off nice and easy. I mean, the C4 coming out, as we mentioned, it's really crazy. A very nice punch hole. You wouldn't expect those to work, but I think it's a very perfect punch hole for the position. I mean, you have the distance, plus the fact that there's a lot of light in all that wall. So, that kind of worked out for the Cade. Not for the Yana, though, that's for sure. As we head back to Aviator, we don't see a Cav, sadly, nor do we see an Amaru, along with a Ying and a Blitz. But that's fine. We're going to just kind of have to see what the strats are going to be here. I mean, most definitely, let's hope we keep the Tachanka alive for more than 30 seconds right now. And not including the Goyo, that would probably be optimal. I mean, if you don't have Goyo as the time wastage, Tachanka would probably be the better pick in this situation. But yeah, right now, I'm just going to purely assume off of the attacking side. I would personally go for a Master push right now, even though normally on this side you should probably extend a bit more into Master just to not give the amount of area and map control to the attackers. I don't think pushing Study alone or main stairs alone, maybe from below along with Study would work, but even then it's not so optimal. Just going for Master, clearing out the roamers, maybe getting a kill or two along the way, and then having the entirety of 90 is a lot better than just Study.
I don't know if this is just the G2, like the G2 bias, but I'm just remembering all these G2 games on the Major and SI where you have the knock and you have a pair of nades on the sledge or the Yana, and there's just someone joining upstairs, they crouch walk their way into the side, into the living room, into kitchen, there's a wait for the intel, and then boom, a nade goes out. I mean, I would love to see something like that because it's such an annoying way to play Siege with such little counterplay. But, I mean, if you hit shots like that, Zarok first to be picked off again, unfortunately. At least fortunately, this time it was by an enemy, not teammate. But still, Tachanka yet to have a single bit of utility used in all 3 times they've gone Aviator, which is unfortunate. But Apex, gonna try to get a bit aggressive onto the stairs, but does actually get the trade. He didn't look at it from our angle, but Macy gets a kill elsewhere as well, brings it back into 2v4. The last 2 players need to rotate back to the side quick. Then his position on Skull has been revealed, as well as Cat, who didn't think behind his village table, trying to get a few shots behind the reinforced wall, seeing if any players are playing close by. Den as well, can get close. They need to isolate these fights one by one to get these kills, but Macy isolates the fight onto Den, and now it's poor old Cat in a 1v4 with 2 minutes left. All the time in the world, all the drones in the world. I don't think he's going to be winning this anytime soon.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, a bit ironic how I mentioned stun would be optional. They're just busting through my words, absolutely denying it. As I mean, it's a 4v1 situation right now. Kind of castle behind bar, he can't do much. The default is coming out. He's getting bombarded with flashes and nades, kind of stuck in the games itself. And Aviator right now is being absolutely pushed. I mean, what is he to do? They know where he is. There's 4 of them, and all he can do is stand up and maybe meet his fate, maybe get a kill or 2, as if he gets lucky. But yeah, right now holding this angle is the most he can do. I mean, he can't really push up. There's the default plants out. There's 4 people. There's people even possibly droning, and the Nook, aka the Creed's probably on the drone. You can't really do much. I mean, this is probably a lost round. So yeah, I'm just gonna say Jihu is gonna be getting this one, and most people will be like, oh, don't just keep trusting in him, everything is possible. No, this is probably not possible, as Jan is going to be finishing it off, and yeah, it's a really tough situation, especially, if it's a planned situation and people don't know where you are, it's a bit easier to move around, it's a bit easier to relocate, and maybe get into 1v1 situations with other attackers. But when your direction's kind of just locked onto, they know which room directly you're in, they can just hold the doors. I mean, you can't really escape, and there's no actual hatch in there to rotate from, and even if you were to do so, they would also know that just because of the sound intel. So yeah, a bit of a tough situation for the castle, and very good frags. I mean, we got the early trade, and then just instantly they started dropping like bombshells one after another, and I mean, all of a sudden it was a 4v1.
True. I feel like it was more of I'm not sure who got the first pick. I think it was Shed. He calls out guys, we got the Tachanka, and with the extended hold, there's only going to be 2 or 3 on site, and then
yeah.
I just think it's really impressive that you shot call the team. Hey guys, there's only 1 or 2 players on site. Let's just execute here. We know where most of these players will be playing. Let's just try to go for it, and it worked out in that position because they knew the general idea of how the setup of BTD. This could be down to the fact that maybe they're close friends with BTD. Maybe they just have each other's strat books on the note app. I don't know, but it could also be that they had the good drone intel. This could be a few different things, but Apex. He's getting a bit feisty, jumping out a few windows, seeing what he can do. Unfortunately for him, doesn't manage to catch anything. Unfortunately for him, doesn't catch a bullet in his head. He's gonna walk himself back inside, as it seems that the attackers of Jihu are gonna be taking it a bit more slow this time.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's not a rush, that's to say the least, and let's let's hope we don't see them every round from this point on. But yeah, a bit of pressure getting pushed onto bathroom window. They kind of just broke it open to kind of distract the works for a second or two, aka Den. As I mean, right now, not much is going to be happening. I mean, they're just going to be preparing, kind of opening holes that they can enter later on, instead of having to break them and give that sound call to the defenders if they were to be close by. Let's say the pantry window, if they want to go into it later, they don't have to break it, and if there's going to be someone by pantry, it's going to be harder for notice, and such as that. As yeah, we're in kitchen right now, verticality would possibly, not possibly, just in general, be more favored, although I'm not seeing any sledges, any soft breaches, so we're most definitely not going to be seeing that. But we already see, yeah, Creed's down inside in pantry. We see just kind of a bit of a split push from everywhere. They're going to be webbing around them. They're going to be slowly starting to push up, choking that the defenders out with the amount of pressure, if that is to happen. I mean, everyone's kind of mostly going on in their own, so they're going to be in 1v1 situations, which does make it a bit of a gunfight situation that you want to win. So, yeah.
Should be a free kill on the Capcan if someone manages to capitalize on it. But yeah, with the current build or the kind of lineup of the Jihu, they don't have any soft breaches like you said, so it's gonna be they're gonna go across probably. They're gonna just try to take living room, trying to take a study, maybe go down and just go across as Dan picks up Shed. That's a twitch off the board at the powerful F17 as well. And Apex as well doubles that lead, picking up Creed. Does get traded up by Macy, but I think that's all she can get because no one's just playing nearby, no one's swing. But a minute is left. This has been very, very slow from Jihu. It's completely different from their really fast takes. And you can see that the players are really split up, like you said. So it's going to be very difficult if they die to get refragged at all. Venoms, he's going to try to look to get this user down. But Macy with the Capcan trap gets down. It's 4v2 now. Rando and Venoms are completely different parts of the map. You know, one is by pantry and the other one is by laundry. And you can see Zarek is going for the swing, gets the breadstick on the board. That's his first kill, or second kill technically of the game, since he got those Capcan downs earlier. Now poor old Venoms, the only player left in this lobby with 0 kills. What can he do, Puffer Bob? What can he do?
Well, he can just accept his fate that most of the time he's going to be the only one left alive. Although he gets his first, does he get the second? It's very close. 9 seconds on the clock. He manages to run into sight, but not to finish off the Malusi. So yeah, you know, he manages to get one endgame kill, but really in the end right there, he was yet again the loner in the very end. It was a 1vx situation like many times before, and kind of a running joke, an inside joke as you've mentioned earlier. So yeah, I mean, not looking too bad to be honest. I mean, the attacking round was a 3 score, and so goes for the defense. So it was a 3-3 before actually switching off to the roles, and I was going to be Jihu on defense. And yeah, now it really does depend. If, you know, if BTD prefers defense a lot more, and same goes for Jihu, than attack, this could be turning, the tables could be turning any second. I mean, if one team prefers one side, or like one side of the roles more than the other, and it kind of reverts or goes for the same on the opposing team, things can get nasty really quickly. I mean, especially in the situation where they're equal. Jihu could right now just win 4 rounds in a row. Same could go for BTD, just if they like it that way.
True, and on the topic of Venoms, I guess I should just clarify for people in chat that he's a support player. Obviously, he's going to be last on the line most of the time. That's what he should do. It'd be a problem if he was dying first in the round. We're just having a little bit of fun because, you know Venoms. You know, he's been around for some time, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind a little bit of banter being passed around. But I thought I should just clarify that in case some people in chat got a little bit confused and saying, what, these casters are completely clueless. But we might be clueless, but we are... No, we're just clueless. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how me and Puffer Bob got this job. It was at a listing. We were at like a 7-Eleven. We saw it like yeah. Trippin feeds us in breadsticks. Like, guys, we get paid like nothing. Like it's about a tough season. You know, winter. I had like two breadsticks a day, but you know, we don't care about that. We care about the siege that's happening right now. And right now, in a 5v5, it's gonna be interesting. This first attacking round is gonna set the tempo of this half, Puffer Bob. You can see here, it's gonna go for a master cross take, something that Jihu did not do at all. They opted to always go for either a vertical take from going from below or going from study itself, and you can see exactly why, because Creed gets 1 and might get the C4 onto the second, as he does. Cat and Apex, 2 huge players down already. That's your nades gone, that's your Ash breach charges gone, that's a lot of utility gone, not to mention the numbers itself, and now he can just slowly slither himself back to site while the rest of BTD are left holding their heads in their hands because now they have to regroup and figure out how they're going to do this attack.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, right now, it's a bit looking a bit more towards Jihu sided, especially just, I mean, the advantage they have more players. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but also kind of towards the position that BTD has been set on. I mean, they kind of got denied of their push for a second right there. Yana's pretty much alone right there, and rotation needs to be set, as of course they're going to be going into study, which hasn't had much prep for it, or not at least too much for the time being. Rooney gates are still up, you know, there's still gadgets. Not disturbed peace for the defenders right now, so they're kind of chilling in their side, nice and comfy. As I mean, the attackers need to actually start putting a lot more pressure on them. They need to start getting 1v1 situations. They need to get picks, is what I'm trying to say, or at least somehow kind of make it a more favorable position. Even a plant situation would be better, but you know. I mean, the defenders also don't have a Tachanka or a Smoke or a Goya or anything like that to kind of prevent the late game plant or to kind of just smoke them out of the area. As of course it's going to be Venom's getting one, joined by the mute, actually the Wamai, I do believe it was. Yeah, it was the Wamai. And of course then left in a 1v5 situation. You know, at least it's not Venom's, but yeah. 30 seconds on the clock, and this one's most definitely going to Jihu, and they absolutely dominated. This could turn out to a flawless for all we know, and yeah, I mean, not much has been actually damaged towards Jihu. I mean, their defense is still looking pretty sharp, and their site hasn't been harmed.
True. This round has all been Creeds. Those two initial picks as well the utility from the vault cams. They just knew exactly where BTD were pushing from, and you know they're smart players, right? They're playing each other's crosses really well. They're not giving them any free picks. There was a period of time in the round for like 30 seconds where all three players were just sitting outside, hoping that someone from Jihu would give them a free pick, but it just didn't come. They were just playing really passive. They're playing really controlled and playing for their trades, which is exactly what they did. And then they just won their one after one after one, and that was a round done. And that was a really solid Jihu defense. And like I said, Creed's the star of that round, definitely getting those 2 kills, completely putting a stop onto BTD. But it seems that BTD just wants to get the party started because they've brought the Blitz and the Sense. I mean, I've seen some things, some lineups with Sense on this map, and I'm just curious to see. I'm not gonna say anything because obviously, you know, it would be kind of anticlimactic if we were to hype this entire thing up and then nothing happens. But
yeah,
I'm seeing Sense. It is trophy, and I know there's a few really cool Sense spots. So you know, Observer, just keep a little lookout on that in case that happens. Because if it does execute properly and he doesn't get spawn picked or something silly like that, it would be. It's chef's kiss. That's all I can say. That's what I'm going to say.
A chef's kiss.
It's chef's kiss. But you can see, obviously, the battle cams. Something that we didn't really talk about too much, and something about the bans, right? You have to ban the Solus, the Sami, the Valkyrie, you know, the Kaid as well on some maps. There's just like so many really strong defenders that you don't want on the map. Mira as well. And usually one of these will always slip through and be a big nuisance. And in this map, it's always a Valkyrie. And having a Valkyrie is never good. But hold that thought just a second. Apex and Den, a dynamic duo play seems to be building up right now with a bit of shown information maybe. I'm not sure what's going to go happen here. This seems to be a premeditated strat as they start crouching through basement. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. It's very peculiar. Bro,
it's peculiar, but I'd kind of be scared if I was this Valkyrie right now. I mean, to be honest, just a crouching sledge on a Yana, it's very terrifying. You could put this into a horror movie and I wouldn't be surprised, but oh no, is this gonna end up as we think it is? There comes one. Valkyrie trying to back off, but with a shotgun on Sledge, picking him off the next second. A bit of a questionable decision, but there comes the Frost, taking down the Blitz. Are they gonna be still continuing on with this flashy rush? I mean, yeah, it's going to be a kill from the side of Zofia, getting 1 pick onto her own. The HP of BTD not looking too good. The Frost has more than the Lion and Blitz combined. So, although they do have the man advantage, they're kind of a bullet away from death itself. And there comes Zofia, knowing one's behind the shield, taking out the Jaeger. It's a 4v2 situation, 1:30 on the clock. Bathroom and Astro is now the main focus. And there comes one shot, a very nice from the side of Venoms. He manages to pick off the Blitz, and yeah, actually the Blitz getting taken off right now is the Lion earlier. A triple kill from the side of Katsula, and yeah, now it's a 2v1 situation, and Jihu is now, you know, looking at a very much better situation.
It's a 1v1 now. Venoms, he's holding this angle and Cat just give her the position and Venoms wins that gunfight. Somehow, talent, pure talent, winning that fight. 4v2 by the way, they come back. You know, Blitz and Lion were both on such low HP, a single bullet, and Venom, the right pistol at the right time, played that so well. He knew after he missed the first initial shots on the Zofia to go around. That was oh my god. I mean, I wanted to talk about that strat that BTD were doing. It was a Scars strat that they did on Villa. I think it was against SSG. If people watching Major didn't exactly I'm talking about. And the moment I knew it, it was because I saw Sledge on the shotgun holding the flank. I was like, yo, it was going crazy. If you know, you know. That's all I can say. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Please go watch that Scars match from the Major. It was so good. But anyways, but yeah, it was just, that was a star player moment, right? No, Venoms. I mean, Jihu, they got, I'm not going to say slaughter, but BTD, they did win the initial fight, and it was just Venoms at the end who came out with the clutch when his team needed it, and puts his team 2 rounds ahead now. I think that is the first time since the first 2 rounds that Jihu have gone 2 rounds up. It's been pretty close game so far. So, you know, BTD, if they don't want to let this go to match point and slip past their fingers, need to get answered this round.
I wanted to get back on the topic of you saying there's always an operator that's a big nuisance that's like the Valkyrie, and I feel like it's a certain map has always like 5 really strong operators, let's say, right? So they can be used anywhere and always on that map, and it's going to be the Valkyrie that slipped by, but let's actually get to that in a second as Arrow gets taken out, and I mean, Ace and Frost kind of, you know, equalizing their HP, but yeah, no, yeah, the Soulless and the Zombie, I would much rather have them out than a Valkyrie.
Oh, it pains my heart to see the Osa die first in the round yet again.
That is true. That is pretty stingy.
The Osa is always a centerpiece of an execute to go for the plan, and always seeing her die first or they die first is, it's unfortunate to say the least. You all want the Osa alive for the execute. You know, they're always going to be in a really good position. The shields are such a great tool to be able to pin out the defender. It's like a mini Monty. They have 2 of them, right? Put them down.
Yeah.
Just have a little bit of information. Get the information if they spec for the plan. But now you can see BTD, they're going to have to go for an aggressive take. Solo plays seem to be the name of the game, as Dan has jumped into Mushroom, but I don't think his position has been revealed, as he does pick up Rando. That's Sequoia off the board. That is C4 off the board. But now his position has been revealed, and probably Jihu are going to try to capitalize and try to maybe take him out, but no, actually Cat is the person behind them. They have got living room control, and Shed, he was on 1 HP, now he's even lower on a little bit of a sliver. A touch would kill him. After about a touch.
I mean, to be honest, you could probably just flick him in any position and he'd just fly away in an absolute shock. The Frost is very low on HP, but, you know, that still doesn't mean he can't get a headshot or 2, and it's very possible. But very low chance due to just his HP alone. Oh, but it's going to be the Rooney getting 1 kill. DMR in hand is going to be done out of the match. Off the board, Creech joining them soon, making it a 3v3 from the side of Apex. An instant refrag, though, making it a nice double kill from the side of MC. I hope I'm not butchering that name, but it's MC, right? Or is it MSI?
I think it's Macy.
Macy, okay. Let's just call him Macy. I am so bad with names. Doesn't matter though. Venom's gonna be striking back at Raston, getting another pick for his own, and yeah, Gatzel not looking too good.
So close, but yet so far for BTD. All of these players are on 1 HP. A singular bullet to all of them would do the job, but it's just a little bit more would have killed out that. I mean, Macy on those Astro Stairs got 1, almost got the second. It was such a close round, and that's the story of these 2 teams. You know, BTD and Jihu, they've been really, really close to each other in terms of winning the round. They're just, but it's just Jihu who's been edging them out in the end of the round every single time. And I mean, on this course, it seems that Jihu are going to be the one to win this game. I mean, I'm slurring my words. I mean, I did not expect this kind of game at all, to be honest. I was expecting, you know, this is really high quality Siege coming in from a round 3 game. Especially, it's refreshing to see a game like this, because these are 2, like, I'm telling you now, these 2 teams, they have the basics of Siege down really well. They're playing really well. Even if you come pick up the nuances, they're playing as a team, and they have these little mini strats down, and I don't know how to explain, man. When you're watching good Siege, you just know it. And now I'm watching good Siege, Pepper Bub.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with you. Although there is one slight issue. Jihu has won 3 rounds in a row on defense, making it a match point right now. So not only have they been performing well, but they got themselves 1 round away from winning, and BTD needing to win 3 rounds in a row to get themselves to the same position is going to be very difficult, especially with the lineup we have here. We're also seeing Venoms bring out the Mira, a very deadly operator, especially when you don't have a Twitch or any type of operator like that in hand sight. We do have an Ace, yes, we do have a Thatcher, and also a Ying, which is going to be interesting to bring out, although there is a Warden from the side of Rando. But yeah, no, right now, Jihu is most definitely performing just a bit better on defense, and they secure themselves pretty well on attack as well for the side of, you know, the attackers. And yeah, Rasen already taking some damage. You don't want the Ace right now out. You do not want a Heart Breacher or a Ying out. I'd rather you take Thatcher or anyone like Nook or Yana, or just Ace, keep him safe. Keep him in a little cubbyhole.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at Zarek. He's been the opening death 5 times in this game so far. So, you know, I'm just watching him, you know, as an Execute Op, as a Tachanka. It's not normal for us, like, someone who plays his kind of roles, he dive first. What's more than common is Apex to dive first, because he's more of an entry player. But Den does manage to get the refrag. I don't think they know that Apex is down, because Den gets 2 free kills, and the nades actually might get a 3rd because it's rightly prepped on Venoms. Somehow doesn't do a sliver of damage onto him. Venoms, he's not deterred at all. He's trying to hold the angle, see if he can get anything else. As Shed is creeping up in library, Puffer Bob. He might catch Den off guard here, as Apex does get picked up eventually. But all this position that was taken earlier is lost because, of course, he had to move over to get the revive. And even though they have the man advantage, 2 players are relatively low. I don't think they're aware of Shed's position here, so he's at least good for 1. And with the time ticking so low, it's gonna be a close one. That's all I can say.
Yeah, most definitely. It means Venom's taking some damage. Aruni taking out 1, but then with a triple kill for his own, a very nice shot and instant refrag for the 2nd time. And, you know, the Nook was down, gotten back up, a very nice one. A 4v2 situation for the side of Jihu, not looking too good. I mean, BTD are most definitely clapping back right now, as although their HP isn't looking too good, I'm not gonna get on that, as Nook is about to get finished off, very close to actually being bad timing. Rando kind of backing up back into sight. Maybe he gets off 1 more, maybe evening it out, to say the least, but no. Yeah, right now making a 3v2 is not bad at all. I mean, Katsola had some intel where he was, did back off though, good position for the side of the Warden right now, and with 35 seconds on the clock, this is not looking too good for the attackers. They have low HP, not much prep right now for the execution. Their only plan is drone it, go in, if it works, it works.
It's so good from Jihu. They've rotated around these rotations from BTD so well. They're playing in positions where it's really difficult for BTD to do anything here. They're playing really well the Mira window, like you said earlier. Even though there's no C4, you don't need a C4 when you have Venoms on the Vector hitting shots just like that. But suddenly there's a flurry of trades, but there's only 7 seconds left. Rando versus Cat, and you know, Rando is just going to run away. The case is cold on the floor. There's nothing he can do. And that is a GG for Jihu, as they win this match from the sliver of their teeth. Such an entertaining game. I actually feel really blessed to be able to watch a high quality Siege match like this so early into the Titan Series quals, because that's what it was. It was 2 teams. Over Bob, as I say a final few words about this match, it was a knife's edge. You know, you remember the first, it was so close, man. It was so close.
Very nice. I mean, most definitely. Well, very well played from these teams. I mean, you said they're also very close. And, of course, Jihu did end up managing to take the W, as Villa seemed to be a bit more in the favor of being their map. But well played. I mean, it was the last match of today and the very last match to spectate/cast. And, of course, very nice to work with you, Mr. Jagger. I hope I didn't butcher it.
Thank you, Mr. Poofer Bob.
But yeah, no, that, I think besides that, it should be all. But prove me if I am wrong. But
we will be back tomorrow, though. Tomorrow for the next 4 calls. Obviously, as you know, once again, for the people new here, it's a Swiss system. So even though BTD lost, they're not out. They're 2-1 right now. If I'm calculating correctly, they need 3 wins to go through, I'm pretty sure, production. So they still win in 1 more game and they're through. So that's all they need to do. It's a Swiss system. It's how the major was run, basically. So if you're a bit confused, you can look up Wikipedia and have a look at the major and see how it was kind of done in the Swiss format in this phase 2, if you're still confused about it. But yeah, Puffer Bob, I think that's all from us for today. Come back tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. CET or CEST. I can't remember. I think it's CEST.
Yeah.
I think it's CST. Yes, it's CST. Okay. So 6 p.m. CST. It's going to have 3 more games, round 4, round 5, and round 6. The teams are basically going to be confirmed who are going to qualify, who are not going to qualify. And of course, how can we forget in the actual Talent League Titan series itself, the monsters of the T1 teams waiting for them.
Ooh.
It's going to be a blast of a series, this Titan series. Do not forget to watch, guys. That's all I can say. Do not forget to watch. It's going to be an absolute crazy season. Make sure to watch every single Titan series match. You're not going to regret it. Mark my words. This is Jaeger. This has been Puffer Bob. And I think it's time for us to say goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.